What is going on, everybody? I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Saturday night. Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. Always getting pumped up with a little bit of 80s porn intro music, it seems. But yeah, hope you guys are having a good one, staying safe out there, whatever you're doing. But it's time to talk a little bit of birds. So I thank you all for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please throw them my way. But tonight, we're once again going to talk a little bit about Carson Wentz. Yesterday, I let you guys know I was going to have a guest on, and we were going to do a little bit of talking about some of the upcoming free agent class that we have. And unfortunately, I was then supposed to have an interview with a prospect. I won't say that prospect's name, but yeah, so I was planning on doing that tonight. Then that didn't happen, so was unable to do either. So I apologize for that. But here we are tonight, ready to rock and roll. And of course, there's more news coming out. Rob Maddai had posted about, Carson Wentz might not be traded. You can see the Eagles holding on to Carson and having him compete. I mean, that's something we've been talking about for a while. I really think Carson and Jalen Hurts should have competed from the beginning, and we shouldn't be even talking about trading him. But here we are. And, you talk about it all the time, the dead cap that follows if you trade him. That's $33 million dead money. That's not something you want to do. I think that the Eagles, are looking for a first-round pick. You also have heard that teams haven't even offered a first-round pick, but you've also heard that they have offered a first-round pick. So you guys know that we take all of this with a grain of salt, dude. These guys are just being told certain things by certain people, and you got to take it all with a grain of salt, guys. So we don't really know what's happening. All we know is that Carson Wentz is being shopped. So once again, we get to talk about Carson Wentz, and we're not going to have to sit and dwell on this too long because, like we've talked about day in and day out, this isn't something that has to be rushed. I think you should make them compete, and I know that doesn't help you for the draft or whatever your plans are if you really want to get rid of them. But, I mean, when you're looking at you save $25 million in cap space and only you have like a $9.2 million dead cap hit, that's much better. And I think, making them compete is much better for Hurts. And if you want to get rid of Wentz, I just talked about the money you would save. And if Wentz blows your mind, then you keep Wentz. If it's really that bad, my God, are we really going to trade him? It's just the question at hand that I don't know, man. What's going on, Malcolm? What's going on, everybody out there? Thank you for tuning in, guys, on this fine weekend. We're not getting a first for Carson. Well, that's the thing. If you don't get a first-round offer for him, then you shouldn't make that trade. He's definitely worthy of one. And if a team's desperate, you could definitely get a first-round pick for Carson Wentz. So if the Bears or the Colts feel like budging, then they will. If not, then I think you should definitely keep him. But now you've created more drama for Carson Wentz because now you're trying to trade him after you just gave him competition. It's just like, dude, these guys are nuts. You just give this kid money, and then this is what you're going to do. So drives me nuts. But then you hear today, this is actually something that we've been talking about for a little while, but it was a question asked yesterday. Would Zach Ertz be traded with Wentz? We've been talking about Ertz being let go for a while now. Had Mark Frazetta on last week, and we talked about this before that news broke. And it's like, look, it's well known that Wentz, Kelsey, and Ertz were on the field, and it looked like it could be their last time on the field. And that doesn't make me happy. That sucks. I love those guys. But this is where we're at. And if they're now talking about packaging both of them together, which could be the case, I'm not really sure. But if a team like the Colts is interested, obviously they know this team, Frank Reich. My Lord, that would be very intriguing to see what kind of haul you could get for both of them. So that's something we talked about last night, and I think that you could definitely move both of them. A team like the Colts could definitely be interested. Maybe the Bears. I'm not sure. Maybe get Cole Kmet back in return. I don't know. We'll see. If Carson wanted, who could shut this all down and say, I want to be here? Hurts on his own. Well, that's the thing. Carson Wentz could come out. He could have came out when Doug Peterson was fired. We could be hearing from our leader. And look, you could also say in the same token that he doesn't know us anything. He doesn't need to come out. But the thing is, it would really help things if he did. And he knows that. So whatever, it is what it is. But they're talking about Jalen Hurts is going to be working out. We've talked about this. He's planning on working out with the receivers. So, I mean, he's getting things done like he's the QB1. So, hey, that's all I want to see is these guys getting things done in the offseason, having a chance to do that this year, staying safe. But I want to win. That's all I want to see. So whoever it is, and if you're going to trade Carson, you better get a damn good haul for in return for him. So we'll see what they do. Carson never been. Well, he doesn't need to be a social media guy, but I thought a press conference, something like that. That was the only thing. When Doug Peterson was let go, everybody else had something to say. He's the leader of this team. That's not unusual for a guy. Now, social media, I don't really care about that. He doesn't need to say anything. None of these guys really need to be on social media. They shouldn't be, because half of them make themselves look like ass clowns when they do. And, I try to show support to them as much as I can, because I know some people are brutal. But it's like, look, I'm just here to support my team, and whoever's on the Eagles, I got their back. And I want to see this team win, damn it. And it's a new coaching staff. I know that Howie Roseman's still here. I understand the anger because I feel it deep inside. Trust me, I do. And we've talked about it all damn season. But here we are once again, and Howie Roseman's still here. And that's the one thing I said would happen. We were going to probably lose Doug, and what if Wentz was gone? But then this little turd was here. And sure enough, it's bad. And it makes me angry, but I still love my Eagles no matter what. And you hear people, I'm not going to watch them. It's like, good for you, dude. I'm always going to root for my Birds. I've been through way worse, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Jalen Reagor, yeah, not the best on social media. I try to show him love when I can, but yeah, not the greatest. Steelers center retired one last year in the league. I love Kelsey, but well, yeah, man, that's something we've been talking about for weeks too. You've been tuning in. That's something we've been talking about. Jason Kelsey could definitely retire, and that's something I wanted to talk about. Having Evan on, and we could briefly touch on this, but this is what I want to have on the show tomorrow. But I was going to talk about, like, we saw the free agents yesterday that I put up here. Then take a look at the cap hits that we're taking in 2021 from guys still on the roster. These are some of the things we talked about. And Jason Kelsey, him retiring is definitely a possibility, especially if Wentz or Ertz are gone. But you're looking at those cap hits. A lot of these guys could be restructured, should be restructured. Javon Hargrave, looking at you, buddy. Sean Jackson could definitely see his way out. You could save around $8 million cutting him June 1st, post June 1st. So a lot of these guys post June 1st, a lot of this work's going to be done. So, a lot of people want to rush in, talk about this, but it's like, look, moves aren't going to be made. I get it. The season's been over for us for a few weeks, but look, it's just beginning. But a lot of these guys, you're going to see different numbers, hopefully restructures. Don't know what's going on with Wentz there, but Brooks and Lane getting up there in age, but I love them. Not to knock them at all. Just saying, I think that they would be willing to, restructure and do things to help this team out. I don't think that they, are lacking in play. I think that, they're awesome. And we've talked about getting depth on the line because of the injuries. But, if you have Nate Herbig, if you have Jack Driscoll, I think those guys have a promising future. And then you talk about Dillard and Mailata battling out for left tackle. Those guys, whoever doesn't win is depth. So you've got depth. You could add a little more, and I would love to see maybe a center/guard, somebody who could definitely fill in, especially, you have that Nate Herbig, but maybe a stud and somebody who could play guard, maybe say Malu kicks over to center. I don't know, a lot of possibilities here, but maybe there's a stud tackle available. I don't know what you would do then. You have Mailata, who looked very promising, and Dillard you used a first-round pick on. So the Eagles don't like admitting when they're wrong, but I don't think, we know with Dillard yet. So I'm not ready to give up on him, but he's going to have some competition. So he's going to have to compete. And I like that. I definitely like that. If Carson stays, I hope he still will play all out. Well, that's the thing. I think he could be motivated, and he is the guy. And Rob Maddai brought that up. And it's like, look, if he doesn't get traded, he is going to compete. But it's so stupid that we create this kind of drama, man. I wish they would just let him compete. Let Carson Wentz show what he could do with an offense that actually uses him to his strengths, rolls him out, runs the ball, does things that actually just has a healthy offensive line. And when it's not healthy, does things to provide protection. But that's just me and all of you that talk about it every damn week last year, and it drove us all wild. So, hoping for some change with Nick Sirianni, this new staff, everybody, they're too young. I don't care, man. I just want to see new, even head strength and conditioning, the whole damn staff, all that. Dude, I'm pumped up for the player performance, all the changes, baby. And I think we still got those picks in here. talked about the new staff, the rest of the coaches that we added here. Oh, let's get that comment out of the way. But you see the rest of the staff was filled out. Excited for that. Excited to see some of those guys moving up the ranks. And then you see all the, like we talked about, the sports medicine, sports performance, all this stuff we talked about the last few days here. I'm excited about change. I just want this team to win. And if it takes a whole bunch of new faces, a couple of familiar faces, I'm all about it. Let's just see our birds win. That's all. That's all I want to see. That's all I beg of these guys. And I don't really care what their age is. I just want to see how they do. And you never know. They could be the next big thing at their certain position. Who cares? Let's find out before we lose our minds. We trade our extra 3 for Slay all in year now. Rebuild. We have no direction. What do you mean? We traded a 3rd and a 5th for Slay. That was a good move. Good trade. I like that. You got to add another corner so that you have a good combo. They can't just attack Avonte Maddox. Talk about Avonte Maddox. He's somebody you cut, saved like $2 million. I'm not sure what they want to do there. He's somebody that you could use as a defensive back. He's somebody that plays well as a safety nickel corner, but he was not meant to be outside. And we talked about that before the year began. And sure enough, you cut Sidney Jones, and that's what you're left with. I know Sidney had injury history, but you should have addressed it, and he didn't. So it is what it is. Damn you, Eagles. Wouldn't say it's a rebuild, it's a retool. Yeah, I would agree with you, and that's what we've talked about. It's not a complete rebuild. It's something where you have young talent to build around, and I'm excited about it. I think this team has some promise. Deshaun, Alshon, Malik Jackson are gone known to trading for Malik. Well, yeah, I don't think you trade any of these guys, but we talk about getting rid of Deshaun, Alshon. You're going to save about 10 mil right there in cap space. Malik Jackson, somebody I think that you should restructure. That's definitely something we've talked about when he restructured not too long ago. So release him, bring him back, give him a new deal. However, that has to work. So we'll see there. Do you think we'll go after a linebacker? Well, you have to go after a linebacker. Singleton should still play, but there's more than one linebacker that plays. And look, you're dealing with TJ Edwards, a run stopper, not great in coverage. I really like TJ Edwards, though. And you use a 3rd-round pick on Davian Taylor. You brought in Sean Bradley from Temple, not the 7-footer that used to play for the Sixers. I think, well, he was like 7'6", right? But anyways, I think, the middle linebackers, they're intriguing. Davian Taylor, he's intriguing. I think we hope that he could be a nickel corner with his coverage ability, his size, kind of looks like a safety. He can hit, though, and he's fast. I would really like to see him improve. But I would love to see a stud and then fill these guys around him. I know we predominantly play in a nickel, which is 2 linebackers, but, on running downs, these other guys get a chance. Singleton, I still think you should address the linebacker position. That would be great. But, yeah, I love Alex Singleton. You had Rob on the show. Didn't catch it. No, I did not have Rob on the show. He posted that today. But I did ask Rob to come on the show, and he said he would. Waiting to hear back about that. That'd be great. Does Carson want to be here, though? If he does, sadly, we're going to start. We don't know, and I don't know. And that's why I don't put words in his mouth, and I never, ever come out here and say anything about him like that because I don't know, man. So I don't know. The media likes to create controversy, but I wish he would just say something. But he hasn't, and I'm not going to hold it against him. Like, oh, he's a terrible human being. I don't know about that narrative, but hey, that's what they're pushing right now. And if he gets traded, I'm not going to be surprised. But I really wanted to see him compete with Jalen Hurts. Not trade Wentz unless we get the asking price. Exactly. Keep him, let him win the starting job unless someone wants. Well, exactly. You got to get the right haul for him. If not, and looks like Howie's being smart about it. There's one thing he can do is trade and restructure contracts. So let's hope he does that right. Once I wanted Jamar Chase, but I stand with this Wentz drama and no offense to a guy that hasn't even played a snap for the Eagles with Chase. Just seems like he could be. I don't know where you got that. I think Jamar Chase would be great. I would love him or Devontae Smith, whoever's available. That would be great. Should the Eagles go after J.J. Watt? No, that wouldn't work. He wouldn't want to come here. But I think, when you're talking about the Wentz and Ertz debacle here that has been occurring, Ertz first, where we talked about he wanted more money, and then he was arguing with Howie Roseman on the sideline, and so much drama was going on, and he started playing like crap. Then he got hurt, and right before he got hurt, apparently the Packers and Ravens were interested in trading for him. So teams are interested, man. But the question is, now they're talking about packaging the two. You could definitely get a bigger haul if you're trying to get both those guys off of you, but they both have a pretty big cap hit. And I think Zach Ertz is like around 14 mil, I want to say. Anyways, it's somewhere around there. We have that graph. Let's bring it up here. Yeah, 12.4. Yeah, it was Brandon Brooks that was 14. Okay, well, 12.47. So that's you're taking on pretty big cap hit for another team there. Well, we'll see if anybody would be interested in doing that. It might be the Colts. That's something obviously that would be very intriguing to see. Sorry, losing my voice here. Carson says, "You think there'll be a rift in the locker room?" I think there is, and that's what's been talked about. But I don't know if it's because of Carson Wentz or what's happening. But there's some kind of leak, and there's something that keeps happening for the last few years. It's not like this just happened, So I don't know what the hell's happening, but they need to fix it, and we need to restart, man. We need to see what happens here. But draft tomorrow, and the Eagles have number one pick. Are you picking number one pick? Well, dude, I don't know. We got a lot of issues here, but there's a lot of talent that be really hard. I just want to get Jamar Chase. That's where I'm at. I wish we could get him. And if we trade back and get someone like Kyle Pitts, I'm not going to be mad about that. If Chase is gone and we get Devontae Smith, I'm not mad about that. If we trade Wentz, get another first-round pick, and add two really good young guys in the first round, that I might be really excited, and then try to forgive and forget a little bit of Howie. I won't forget, and I won't really forgive him, but I will. I'll try to forget it for a little bit, just for a little bit, and be happy, I guess. That's all I want. That's all I really want. But this team, it scares me. Howie scares me. So this draft, I'm trying to get excited for it, trying to hope that we make some good picks. But I'm very aware of who's there. Everybody always is quick to remind you. And it's like, look, man, I know that. I know. But it's hard to miss. A lot of talent here. But the Eagles, they can get you. Long shot to know what happened. What you personally offer for a shot at Russell Wilson? Laugh out loud. Yeah, the Eagles don't even have enough to give it up for him. I wish. Dodge Gordon to the moon. Get it, man. Go get it. But to the moon might be Ertz and Wentz, and back might be some first-round picks. So that's what I would like. We talk about adding draft capital this year in this draft, and that's something we need to do. We need to get younger. We saw those cap figures. We're going to have Evan on tomorrow. We're going to talk about this. And look, there's some big cap hits from some guys that are getting up there in age. Some of these guys might not be here. Some of those numbers need to change. So we'll get into that tomorrow. But, yeah, and then we talk about the guys that are free agents, who's really on this list that you want to come back, who are guys that you think this new staff is going to like. And, I think Singleton's one of those people. Ward could definitely be back. Kroom, I know that I got a couple friends out here that love little Jason Kroom, 1 catch, 1 target, 1 touchdown. That's a joke, guys. But Crevan LeBlanc, that's somebody who got his ass kicked a couple times last year, but I know he was dealing with an injury. I really like Strap. Jalen Mills played pretty well at safety. I really think there's some intriguing names on here. Nickel Roby-Coleman didn't work out the way I wanted him to, but yeah, it is what it is. Nate Gary, no thank you. You can go hang out with Jim Schwartz. Yo, and there is the man himself. George, you yourself are a huge fan. Bring back the legend, Jason Kroom. Dude, I know you love the man. I know a lot of you guys are big fans. We always have a good time talking about him. Throwing him into any joke you can is always a good time, too. So we'll see. We'll see. Your draft guy. What do you think about Surtain Jr., J.C. Horn? Well, yeah, man. I think that they're both guys that we've mentioned, and I think if the Eagles could get another first-round pick and acquire an outside corner to pair with Slay, which we just talked about earlier in this video, yes, all about it. But I like those guys. They're pretty tough to decipher who I like the most. When you talk about those two, you talk about Farley. I think that there's a lot of talent in the cornerback room. That's why when we talk about getting additional first-round pick, that excites me. And not the thought of Carson and this whole thing that's happening. It's happening. And if it happens, I would be excited about the pick. That's what I would try to turn it into hope that Howie wouldn't mess it up, which is also a whole nother problem in itself. So, yeah, you'd have to wait for the draft to find out about that. But, yes, dude, we talked about Singleton. Please bring him back. Yes. Hurts is a quiet guy. Maybe Chase is a good balance, is powerful too. Dude, they would be great together. And Jalen Hurts is just a leader, dude. I don't think he's quiet in the sense, like, I think he's a leader. He's just quiet to the media. He's a confident dude that comes out and he's just going to kick your ass. And I love that about him. I'm excited to see him grow. So we'll see what happens here, man. We will bring back Foles and McCoy. Yeah, and let's bring back McNabb and T.O. while we're at it. Let's go, Birds. Dude, I wish. And my buddy sent me a thing. I don't have this year's Madden, haven't been playing it, but he sent me a thing that Dawkins card was out. Always got to give respect to old Doc. So let's bring him back too. Man, I wish he would come back at some capacity, a coaching role or something like that. That would make me truly excited. But, not as a player, clearly. Obviously, that wouldn't work. Some of these older players, that'd be great. It's great to think nostalgia of times of the past, we'll say. But, B. Doc, though, he helped us get a Super Bowl by being, that secondary Wizards coach or whatever the hell he was. He was in the locker room getting these young dudes pumped up when everybody got hurt and it was next man up. That was Brian Dawkins. So hungry dogs, that's all that doggone son of a gun, Brian Dawkins. And you could see through it, dude. You could see Brian Dawkins, man. And I was happy to see him get that Super Bowl, man. But I wish, obviously, as a player, that would have happened. Waited 13 years to seek vengeance. My soul got a little bit of ease, but, I wish, he could have got it as a player, but it is what it is. 3-time champ, Kenyon Barner. He was put in the right situations, man. Same with LaShawn McCoy right there the last couple of years. So, hey, find yourself Robert Horry situations. Go get it. But I'm going to get rolling out tonight, guys. That's all I really wanted to talk about. But, in the end, we talked about Carson. I think he is worth that first-round pick, and you need to acquire that first-round pick if you're going to trade him. If not, you don't trade him. You let him compete. Then if there's a quarterback-needy team, you trade him, and then you save $25 million in cap space, and you only take a $9.2 million dead cap hit. That would be the smarter move for me, but the Eagles aren't so smart all the time. So we'll see what goes down there. And the other question was, will Ertz be traded with Wentz? Don't know, but that would bring in a bigger haul, and I'm all about that draft capital. Don't really love the idea of getting rid of these guys. I love the nostalgia effect, but it looks like it's a changing of the tide, so we're going to see a whole new era in this Philadelphia Eagles team, and we'll see what happens, guys. Crazy idea, offer Wentz and Ertz for Denver 9. Yeah, that's what some of the stuff you've been hearing out there, and there's all kinds of, now – the Broncos, we talk about the Texans have been talked about. I talked about that a week ago, and we talk about the Panthers, Texans, the Patriots were mentioned, and obviously the Colts and the Bears. So it's like, dude, we know 49ers were mentioned. There's so many teams that need a quarterback, but the Raiders interested, I guess. But it's like, I don't know. I think you might like Carr. We'll see. But there's just all rumors right now, man. I really don't know. You think Brady used that thing to use a hyperbolic chamber? Yeah, man, I don't know. Dude's just good. And I know he had to cheat to win a few, but he's still good. You can't take that away from him. So, I don't know how he does it. That son of a bitch. But I saw him. He drank a couple Zimas the other night on the boat and was a little tipsy. Couldn't handle it. I was laughing my ass off like this little screw. But, that's all we wanted to talk about tonight. And I think, Ertz and Wentz possibility, we've talked about both of them being a possibility to be traded for a while now. But as a tandem together, that's a very intriguing thought process. And, you can see with the Colts, Frank Reich, that'd be quite the, I guess reunion there. But whatever, dude. I really, it's all just, I think people want to play Madden sometimes, and it's like, look, man, some of this stuff is wild out there. It's the Wild West, and I'm not saying you guys, like, it's fun to think of ideas and do that stuff, but when we're trying to be realistic and talk about stuff, I just sometimes people get carried away. Who I got staying and going? Well, we're going to talk about that tomorrow with Evan. So got messed up tonight because of that prospect, and hopefully I'll get to interview him. That'd be great because I got that stuff ready last week that was supposed to happen again, but hey, I'm always down, and whatever, they're busy, that's whatever. But I'm pumped to talk to some of these guys, and if they make it to the NFL, hopefully they remember me, and hopefully they make it to the Birds, and then we can talk a little bit more. That'd be great, because if they go somewhere else, I could care less. I'm not going to talk to them, but no, I'll talk to them if they want, but yeah, we talk about the birds here. Now, I hope you guys are having a safe weekend. If you need anything, you can always reach out, always here for you, whether that's to talk about birds, you have any questions there, or you just want to talk about life in general in this wild world we live in now. It's crazy out there. So if you need someone to talk to, always here for you guys, and I mean it. So I'm going to get rolling out, though. We got one more comment popping up. I'm playing Madden right now. Look, dude, I'm not knocking you for playing Madden. I love me some Madden. Like I said, I haven't played in a while, but I used to love Madden, so I love when people tell me stuff about it. Enjoy yourself. But I'm just saying, when people start thinking Madden's reality, that's when we start getting a little issue. But yeah, have yourselves a safe weekend. I'm going to get rolling. I'll be back tomorrow with my guest for a little Valentine's Day edition. Holiday. Can't wait. So, I can't. I'm going to spend some time with the lady, so that will actually be pretty damn exciting. I'm excited to be stuck with her alone rather than having to, all the chaos in the world. But it's nice to have someone like a best friend like her. So it's awesome. I'm a lucky man. So hopefully you guys are planning to do the same. Hopefully you guys are having yourselves a good weekend so far. I will be back tomorrow. And as always, colors!